Hey, what's that one clown?
That guy.
You know that one? Win the first game, then we go on the road for the second game. So the 7 plays the 2, the 5 plays the 4.
2 plays the 7, 2
and the 3 plays the 6. So they'll play the 4 or 5 seed most likely. The 1 seed will, right?
Yeah.
I think the Saints, though, could get knocked off. It'll be a good game because the NFC West is good. All right, on to our week.
Wait a second.
What?
I think that they completely...
Finally, Koltsports has come back to the people.
Yes, it has. Week 14 is over. Week 15 is here.
Oh, it's true. It's staying true. Welcome back. You're watching the most electrifying sports talk show in the world. I'm Nikolai Koltso.
And I'm Dennis Koltso.
And today we're talking about what, Dennis? Salt? Are you salty today?
No, I'm not salty today.
You're salty.
You're the salty one.
You're a little salty.
I'm a little sweet today.
Okay. Well, be so sweet and kind and let him know.
I'm sweet today.
Let him know something positive, encouraging, uplifting. Tell him.
I want y'all to be the salt of the world, all right? Give the world a little flavor, right, Nick?
Absolutely right. I didn't know that's where you were going with that, but yes. Don't be boring. Be yourself. Being boring is being someone else. It's copying someone else. It's not being you because you think you're going to be judged. It's because you think that people will not accept you for who you are. Yeah. So be the salt of the world. Give us some flavor. We need it desperately, especially right now. Vikings versus the Bucks. What do you think happened? I'll tell you what happened. Dennis, what do you think? It doesn't matter what you think. I love you. The Buccaneers took care of business as always. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dennis, they took care of business 26-14.
Patrick Mahomes, man, doing his thing again, and you know Kansas City is a championship team. Nick, what do you think about the Dolphins?
Well,
it doesn't matter what you think. On to the next game. And the Seahawks. They completely destroyed the Jets 40-3. This is the game that we were looking for the Seahawks to have all year, and they finally got one.
Talk about Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal Adams, man, he showed up. He was fiery. He beat the record for defensive back sacks ever in the history of the NFL. I think he got, 8.5 sacks?
He has 8.5 sacks now as a defensive back. That's unheard of.
That's unheard of. He beat that record, and guess what? He still has 3 more games to play, so we'll see what happens, man. Congrats, Seattle.
I'm going to make a prediction. He's going to have at least 10 sacks this year.
Okay.
At least 10. Probably 11.
Nick, how about the Bills completely taking care of the Steelers? You were right.
Look, I predicted this game, and the Bills are the real deal. I don't think the Steelers are as good as the record says they are, just because their offense, to me, it's like a sitting duck. If you get ahead of them, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
The only way the Steelers wins is if their defense wins the game for them. So
they're not that balanced. So how about the Ravens and the Browns shootout? It was definitely a shootout.
Probably the best game of the year.
I mean, 89 points scored? That's crazy. The Ravens took care of business though, 47-42. They drove down with a minute left or something.
Yeah.
Lamar led it. So, and then the clutchest kicker of all time, Tucker, just kicked it right through.
Right through the middle. Lamar Jackson,
was more through the left
this
side.
Was huge for him because he needed to prove that he could come from behind in a big game. This was a huge game, and watch out for the Ravens in the playoffs. If they win one game in the playoffs and get that monkey off their shoulder that Lamar can't win big clutch games, watch out, because I think they could actually win the AFC this year. I do.
All it takes is one big game, and that's it. So, all right, guys. So week 15 is here, and the games are getting a little bit more tighter. They're getting a little bit more closer. They're getting a lot more exciting.
Weeks away from the playoffs, so there's a couple more games that will determine the seedings for the playoffs. We're going to talk about that this week, and that's the Packers and the Panthers.
Yeah, that's the first game, and honestly,
who's going to win this one, Dennis?
The Panthers are going to Lambeau Field, and the Panthers have been wildly inconsistent this year, trying to figure everything out. Their defense is pretty much not there.
Besides Jeremy Chin, they don't really have anybody.
Yeah, they don't have anybody, but they can score a lot of points on given nights and given days and given games. But this is the only problem. They're going to be missing Christian McCaffrey, so I'm going to have to definitely give the edge to the Packers. The Packers will win this game 33-20.
I think it's going to be more like 40-28, something in that range. I just don't see anybody stopping Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. Shoot, they're doing a great job right now. They're scoring. Now, will that transfer into next week when they play the Titans? That's the game that I want to see. All right, here's another game that's really interesting. The Seattle Seahawks, they just blew out the Jets, which is no surprise. But now they're going to play the Washington Redskins, and the Washington Redskins now have been playing lights out on defense. They've won 4 in a row. They're averaging, what is it?
14.5 points
allowed. So their defense, Chase Young is playing unbelievably well. Could be a Rookie of the Year candidate. He's just incredible from Ohio State. Shout out Ohio State. But you know, I am just, to be quite frank with you, I think Seattle wins this game pretty easily, 24-14. But I think it is going to be a close game. This is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're as good as the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think that, you know, for a Washington football team, they're finishing pretty well, but they got an experienced head coach in Ron Rivera. He was with the Panthers for many years and competed in the playoffs and actually took his team to the Super Bowl. So, you know, he's firing that team up, and you know, you got Alex Smith now that doesn't turn the ball over. So,
what an inspiring story.
You know, what an inspiring story. The guy was not in the NFL for about 2 years. He got had this crazy injury a few years ago, and he came back with a vengeance, and now he's playing it. And
his team's playing for him.
Yeah, and I'm very
really
proud
cool
of them, and it's going to be a very good game. I think that it's not going to be 24-14. I think it's going to be more like 23-17 Seattle.
What?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be that close. Dennis, it's not going to be that close.
So when a team has given up 14 points a game the last 4 games, they must be doing something right. And you know, one thing in Seattle,
I'll give it up to you.
They struggle. The Seattle O-line struggles to score points against good defenses. They've proven that the last few weeks. So I don't know. Until they beat this team by a good margin, I don't know what that's going to look like. So anyways,
I predict this is going to be the week Jamal Adams has his first pick 6 of the year. That's just me.
That's cool.
And he's going to have 1 fumble recovery. Mark my words. So 1 pick 6 and 1 fumble recovery.
Chiefs versus the Saints. Boy, this is a big game.
Big game.
You know, I'm going to make this very short and sweet. This is going to be at the Saints. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are on a roll. Every time you think that they might lose, they always just come in clutch. They kind of remind me of the 2013 Seahawks. They just finish games. They have a very, very strong belief in themselves. They're Super Bowl champions. They have a chip on their shoulder. They're not giving up. They're not giving in to teams, good or bad. And I believe that they're going to win this game. I believe Patrick Mahomes is going to really expose the Saints. Although their defense is pretty good, it's going to be over. I believe that the Chiefs are going to win 30-23.
I don't think it's going to be that much of a margin.
Touchdown.
I don't. I think it's going to be a closer game. The Chiefs are just a better team. Now the Saints are playing well. They had 1 bad game that they should have won against the Eagles. The Chiefs are just a better team. They got that one. It's a tough one. Yeah. They're playing for the 1 seed as well. At the end of the day, without Drew Brees, I don't see them beating the Chiefs. And even if he came back, I don't think that he could win this game. I'm now questioning my pick because I feel like the Saints could be pissed off about the loss. You know, they could be really mad. They could be angry. So they could come out firing. I'm going to say it. Change my mind. The Saints are going to beat the Chiefs.
What? What is wrong with you?
The Saints are going to beat the Chiefs.
Bro.
At home, yeah.
He said the same thing last week.
Nope.
About the Dolphins. It's going to be 2 weeks in a row.
This week I'm going to be right. I feel like the Chiefs are going to lose 2 games this year. This is the one. They're going to lose to the Saints. Now, do I want them to? No, I'd like the Chiefs to beat the Saints. Honestly, something tells me that the Saints are just going to come back firing. Their defense is going to play better. They just lost to a team that got humiliated by the Eagles. Now they have something to show for. They know that the whole world's watching. I think the Saints are going to win this game. It's going to be 23-20. 23-20.
Okay.
What do you think? Think that's a load of garbage?
No, that's cool.
Okay.
I already made my prediction.
Okay.
So I'm good. I like where I stand.
Hey, I like Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I like him too. But you know, I think that I don't know if he's going to do something against elite teams. That's the only problem. He's not an elite quarterback.
I think he's a game manager, and I think he'll be just good enough. And I think the defense of the Saints will play a really good game.
Well, have to see what happens, yo.
Alright, well that's week 15's predictions. We have some pretty big games with a lot of playoff implications. That's our picks. What are your picks? What games are you looking forward to? And who's going to be the 1 seed in each conference? Write it down in our comments below. As always, like, share, and subscribe to Koltsports, the most electrifying sports talk show in the world. And that's the bottom line, 'cause Koltsports said so.